Bloke, go! Today, everyone, we are making the 3 pots. I started them yesterday, and today we're going to finish them. Now, I must say, for making a few pots, it's very little work compared to, you know, making a clay pot. Literally, probably 20 minutes per pot, cutting them out, and another 10 minutes gluing, maybe 15, and that's it. And then you got yourself a pot. So pretty easy to make a pot out of this. Now, we got smooth-sided pots for these 2 big ones. If I get keen later, I can put cuts in them if we decide that we like that. I got a triple pack of glue for $20. I probably think I'll only use 2, which makes it only $14 or $13.66, and that is the cost of the pots. $13.66, which is divided by 3, is about, you know, $4.50 each. $4.50 per pot. That's all it costs. So a super good way of doing a pot, and they have their own little quirkiness about them, and yeah, that's that. So these are the feet on this one. The rest of the pots I did square feet. I didn't even care whether they're the same size, just didn't care. I don't care. I'm just going to do some quirky pots and call it a day. So what I might do is I might make the first pot and then put the feet on and put the feet on the ground and chuck the pot on the ground with the feet. And then I've got enough room on here, I hope, to make the other 2 pots on the bench. See how we go. But I'm going to keep you guys live for the whole thing. Got a decent weight about them, but in a way I like having a bit of weight about my pot, because what it does is it stops your tree blowing off the benches, because otherwise they can blow off the bench. Now, this lot here, you can see I did the grooves this way. Okay guys, one of the pots, I'm going to try something different. Instead of having a flat surface looking at you, I'm going to try a bit of crisscrossing. So I'll just show you. It's going to be loud. Okay, I'm going to do that on the rest of the outside of the pot. I don't know, what do you reckon? Either way, it doesn't matter because I've done it now, although I could use the other side if I didn't like it, but it's not bad. I'll do that for 1 pot. Let's do it. Let's do it. That way, every way. Which has actually created a pretty cool effect, which will be on the side of the pot. Anyway, and if I like that effect, I can then do it later on the other pots. But we'll see how we go. See what happens. I've also wiped them down with a wet rag to get rid of the dust from the angle grinder. So that way, you know, the liquid nails, it's more likely to stick. So plan is, also on this arm here, got lots of tape ready to help stick the sides together to just help me out. But it's not very good tape, it's very cheap tape, probably won't work. let's do it. Let's get some stuff started here. Unfortunately, one of my new lights is already blown. I want to bring it closer, mainly for the warmth, because it's getting cold out here. So the halogen light's nice and warm, and that's the main reason I'm bringing that closer. Okay, so let's do it. Let's have a go. So the sides that are going to touch this pot are going to be the bottom here and then along the back. So let's do that. Bottom here. I'm generous, pretty generous with how much I'm going to put on. Selly's liquid nails. It's not clear, you can get some clear stuff, but I don't think it has the same sticking ability as, you know, don't think it has the same sticking ability as this coloured stuff. So I'm not a fan of going to the clear stuff. Generally clear means no stick. Okay, along the bottom, generous amount, really generous. That way if you've got gaps or you've got, I don't know, I guess you could say uneven cuts where you've got some daylight coming through, then you can do, you know, by putting extra glue on, you're making sure that everything has contact, I suppose you could say. And we can wipe off the edges with a wet rag in a minute. Let's just get glue on everything. That's the main thing. Let's just get some glue on it all. Just make sure we don't glue stuff we don't need to glue. Quite an easy way of making a pot, you know. Super simple. Not a lot of work. The angle grinder does all the work. Might look like you're doing a lot of work, but you're not. Angle grinder does it all. Damn it. Good mess going on here. It's the only issue is the mess. I'll just wipe up that bit. Oh God, what a clicker. That's a clicker and a half. So that's that. And then we put on our ends here. If things don't line up 100%, do you know what? I don't even care, because in a way this is a temporary pot, and even if it ends up being a permanent pot for a tree, I quite like the quirkiness of this style of doing a pot. So I'm not too fussed if things don't quite line up and they're a bit quirky. That's just how it is. Okay, so I'll spread that further than it needs to be, chuck it in there, push it together, and Bob's your aunt, and Mary's your uncle, and there you go. And then what I'll do, okay, that all looks pretty good to me. What I'll do then is I'll get a wet rag and just wipe it down a bit. I'll tell you what, I barely need to get a wet rag on it, but I will. So let's get a wet rag on it. And once again, I don't have one available. Okay guys, got one of the wife's hand towels out the cupboard. And I'm just gonna simply give it a bit of a wipe.
as best I can without disrupting it too much. You know, if I end up with a bit of this glue on the outside, so be it, you know. Like I say, it's a possible temporary pot, and if it becomes permanent, you know, so be it. It is what it is. I'm not going to be able to change that, and if we really wanted to later, and we've got a bit of glue sticking out, we could always paint it, but these are sort of temporary bonsai pots that sort of half look like a bonsai pot for now. And hell, if they look alright, like the apple tree that I put in one of these pots, actually turned out pretty good, and I'm pretty excited about it, and I think that's going to be its permanent pot. So I don't think it's a, you know, a big issue to stress about it too much. I'm going to put another bead on the inside of the pot. And also, we'll do some feet in a second. I think I have to get another tube. I think we're nearly out. Well, considering I just bent the handle here, I reckon we are. So, I'll just run my finger along that bead, just to create a nice bead on the inside. Very simple way to make a pot. Extremely simple. I don't know, you know, it's starting together fine, but I did get this tape ready to hold it together. So we'll use it. Hold it together with the tape. And in some ways, you know, this, you know, I would use the angle grinder to cut it out of the pool table. In some ways, the rougher these pots look, almost gives it more character. A bit like a tree that's a bit rough and ready, collected yamadori or something you grew in your garden and it's a bit rough and ready. Well, this pot will match that tree beautifully. So, let's change our glue tube. Stuck in here. Okay. Get another one out of here. Man, you think I'd have something to rip it with. I'm gonna have to go and get myself a pair of pliers or something. Hello, Leon. Not on the pot line. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Watch out your eye there, bud. Good boy. Come on. Come on. Oh. There what? Good boy. Good boy. Now watch out for that pot. So that pot's pretty cool. I'm quite liking those marks that I put in it. So, see what sort of tree we put in that one. Let's go and get some clippers and just clip the top of these glues. Extremely cheap glue. Very cheap. Cut the top off that. I think you have to poke the middle out. Yep. Take the same top, put it on this one,
crack it in the gun. And then let's get these bits ready. That one's gone. Crack that down there. Okay, so what we're going to do is run a bead across here. Put that one down. Oh man, I'll just click it. Put a bead there. By the time you pull that back, it's already squirted a heap more out than what you wanted. That's alright. We'll deal with it. Same here. Another bead there. Put that one on top. And then another bead on top of that. And then you won't, I will show you this because I just will. Down on the ground down here, get rid of that one. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that on the ground. Problem is I'm going to run out of room on this table, so that's why I'm doing this. Put that one there, and then let's grab the pot. You can see the design on the pot, all the angle grinder marks, and then I'm going to just simply drop the pot on top. You can see it float around until it meshes in nice. And like I say, if things don't 100% line up, I'm not overly fussed. I won't be mad at that. Not mad at all. So that's that one done. And then I'll just drill some holes in the middle. Give you guys a bit of a close-up of that one as soon as it's done. And that'll be the bonsai pot. Drill some holes in the middle. Done with the pool table. There's the legs. There's the other leg. I will straighten that one up because that's a bit crooked. And that's that. Pretty happy with that. Pretty happy. Sometimes the quirkiness of having things not quite line up is actually better than having everything just perfect. So, you know, that's what I tell myself anyway. That's what these, you know, what us dodgy people tell ourselves. I will wipe the glue off here. And I'll probably just put it on the inside in here. And that'll help, you know, hold the pot together. Pretty cool. Done. There is another bonsai pot. Awesome. Okay, back up to here. So like I say, you know, this is not a big deal as far as time. It's actually super quick. Really, really simple and easy. I just don't see you know, all I see is pluses for doing something like this with a pool table top, because you're salvaging something that would have gone in the bin or got smashed up or whatever, and you're turning it into something. So it's only a plus plus as far as I'm concerned. Right, so what the deal now will be to grab all the bits and pieces. They're going to be the smooth ones now. So what we're going to do, just put plenty on. If you want to drop a bit of glue, try to drop it on the inside of where the pot's going to be, not on the outside. Okay, glue around the outside of that one. Squash her in there nice and good. Glue around the outside of this one. Nothing hard about it, but I guess the hard thing about doing it like, oh, just made it a mess. Damn it, Sammy. Damn it. The hardest thing about this is not making a big mess. So, there we have it. I guess making a mess is the easy part. I can hear it scraping and not making good contact. It means that it must be a little bit uneven, this piece, so I'll just put a bit of extra glue on. Okay, now it's floating. When it's floating like that, it means it's making pretty good contact with the surface. A bit of glue on the bottom there, it's not going to matter. So, you know, if you want to put glue somewhere, do it there. Now here, we're going to have glue on the inside bit there, bottom along here. Now this is a massive pot. This one here was 65 by 55 or something like that, but quite a massive pot. And then that's just getting on the back. What the heck, Sammy? Oh no! Oh no, this was not the biggest pot. Oh, things are going haywire. This is not the biggest pot. This is the biggest pot over here. Jeez, so now I'm going to have to do them all at once, real quick. Make sure we're making good contact. Oh man, I'm not ready for this. I'm really not ready for this. I wasn't ready for all of this, but here we are. That's what happens when you have a clown in charge. Go across there, spill it into the pot if you're going to spill it. Actually, I've got no idea what this meant to even be. Alright. Good eye. feel like I shouldn't be able to glue yet. This glue gun is so povo, it's actually bending before it gets to get glue in there. Oh, no, you don't need glue on the edge, Sammy. What are you doing, Sammy? I only need glue on the side there, the side there, and the bottom. Yeah, only problem with using these $3 disposable glue guns is they are made, you know, for $3. And I also don't care whether or not my edges line up 100%, not a bother to me. Push them together. Like I say, it's a bit of a training pot slash quirky, could be a quirky finished pot. If I get desperate and never can afford a decent pot, this could be a quirky sort of permanent pot. If I can afford a decent pot one day, these definitely won't be in the game, but for now they are in the game because it's better than a foam box, which is all I have for them at the moment. And then I'll just do that. Wipe off excess. Right, and then got to get the feet ready. To do that, I'll probably just do some glue here. Push that together, put some glue on the top. Plenty. Do the next leg. Like I say, I don't even care about them being even. Doesn't bother me. That went up that way. That went up that way. Move them around, make sure they're squashed in. Get the next two ready. Squash her in. Hopefully we have enough glue for one more before we have to get to the next tube. We'll see. Ah, easy. Bloody easy. Squash them out. Okay, so let's put that on here for now. Remember too, we got this one here sitting here trying to dry. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to literally set them up pretty well think. Okay, and then I'm going to chuck them two under just after. So that's that. Ooh. Nearly got me willy. It nearly got me willy. Oh, see, it gets all floaty. That's why I've got to be careful for it not to float. Starts floating on the glue. Can end up in all sorts. But anyway, once you get them all under there, you can move them around a little bit, play around with them a bit. You know, a homemade pot like this sort of has its own little appeal, you know. An unrefined homemade pot has its own little appeal. And we just give it a little wriggle down, make sure she's bedded in. That's that pot done. I'll probably put a couple of bits of wood on the back of the table, and that'll stop the pot from floating back because the gravity is actually leaning back towards me. I'll put 2 bits of wood there, it'll stop it from floating around, and that's what it is. I'll just get to the front, make sure I'm, you know, reasonably happy with it. Like I say, it's just to get things into something halfway in between a bonsai pot and a, you know, halfway between a bonsai pot and a foam box, which is what they're mostly in now. It's not bad. Not bad at all. So that'll be that. We got that one on the ground. And now let's do the massive one. Not sure whether I'll fit it there, but let's see what happens. I better hurry up, by the way, because that glue will be starting to set. It's a fairly quick set. I'll just play around with that glue there, just to break the crust and loosen it back up. I feel like we've got heaps to go in here. It just seems to be having trouble coming out. I'm going a bit thicker on the nozzle. Okay. Alright, let's do it. Let's go the inside here. Oh yeah, that's way better. The bottom there. It's so funny that I glued up the wrong one for the wrong pot, but I mean they all had to be glued eventually, but put some more on the inside of that one because it has sort of half dry. But it's a typical sort of clown thing that I do, you know. I just lose track of what I'm doing, get carried away and mess something up. Okay, that's in. That's in. Let's do the ends. Legs are on the inside there. Ends are pretty well all the way around. As you can see, it's very simple. Like, you guys have been alive for the whole thing, and there's nothing hard about it. And in my opinion, it makes a half decent pot for no money at all. Like, you're talking $7 each. In actual fact, I think making one out of, you know, a bit of wood would probably be more expensive than making it out of an old pool table. You go and buy a bit of wood, it costs way more than $7 for a pot this big. And yet here we are, $7 for this one pot, Australian. That's only like, I don't know, probably 2.5 to 3 pound in the English scale. And you've got yourself a massive pot, like I think I said 65 by 55 or something like that size pot. I don't know, can you go wrong for that? I don't think so. I think it's a bargain. Just squash her in there, squash her in. Now, I do have some tape for the outside if we need it. It seems sort of okay without it. Put another bead on the inside of this one. Spread it with my finger. And maybe, I don't know, a few days we'll be ready to pot up in these pots. So I'm just going to spread it around, squash it in. Nice bead in there. Help glue it together. I'm pretty excited for that. Same thing on this big one. Around my finger. Clean up the edge of this pot in a minute. We're getting there. I know I'm being quiet here, but there's not much to say. I'm just cleaning it up, getting the job done. Might rub my fingers on these feet, seeing as the feet are the next job. Alright, let's hope that we have enough in that tube. If we don't, we've got the other tube there, but it'd be nice just to finish off on a fresh tube at the end of a tube. These cheap guns, look at that, just bends. Try and use up the whole thing. What a joke. Okay. There we go. This one. Two. Some on there. One's on the inside here. Got a feeling. I got a feeling. Woo, that we're gonna make it. We're gonna have enough. I reckon. We, guys and girls, are gonna have enough glue without having to break open a freshie. Bloody beauty. Bloody beauty, mate. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. That's the legs. So I'm pretty sure now I'm ready to put these to the side. I don't think it would be nice if I could. Oh, you know what? I can, I reckon. Again, I can put that back there. Put that there, and that there. Put that on there. Oh, come back out. Come back out, please. Please, please. Don't wreck it. And then put these legs under. And this one. And then screw up the feet pretty well. Like I say, not an exact science, doesn't really matter. Screw it up best you can at the time. Clean off excess glue. Well, you know, that's that. Got a massive pot. I'll just measure the inside diameter just for interest's sake. Look at this glue. Oh my God, look at that. Absolute disgrace. Now, see that's already come to the front? What's going on is, even though we can't see it, the pot is slipping backwards off the table. So we need to try and do something about it. So that the pot doesn't slip off the table. Yeah, these slate bits of slate, extremely strong. I don't think they'll ever break, you know. At most, the glue might let go eventually and you have to fix it. But to be honest, that apple tree, the pot that I did for the apple tree, I really pushed on it hard just to test it. And it seemed fine, so I really don't think we're going to have an issue with any of these pots. Like I say, I'll drill a hole in them with a, you know, a hole saw bit meant for stone or mason, diamond one. Don't know what happened here, but this side here is a bit not crooked, but it got a bit off centre, and now I've got a lot of glue marks on it. Don't know what happened there. Just got to wipe it off. Anyway, I shouldn't keep you guys waiting for bed or whatever you guys are doing, because we're actually finished here. Got the pot on the ground, the two on the bench. I will measure that just for you guys out of interest's sake. Well, I know it's a big pot. And go 62 by 42 inside diameter. 46 by 36. So pretty good size pots, you know. I can fit fairly decent trees in those. And we'll just leave them here to dry. That's about all I can do. I've got to go and get a tree from outside and repot that right now, which will make more sense on the next video for you guys. And that's it. We're done. No worries. Cheers for watching Aussie Bonsai Bloke. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell your mates about the channel. Hope you enjoy the content. I know, you know, sometimes I ramble on and, you know, I don't get quite the views and whatever of other people, but I try my best, you know. The quality of my filming's not so great, and my editing's pretty poor too, mainly because I'm bloody hopeless. But anyway, I try and I have fun, and that's the main thing. Bonsai is all about fun. Cheers, and I'll catch you next time. Look at the bloody glue all over me. Oh man, absolutely terrible. No worries. Cheers, guys. Catch you next time. And I'll give you a small close-up of some of the pots on the way out. So we got this one here with the angle grinder marks on it. It's actually pretty cool. I'm actually tempted to do that on the rest of them now. Gives it more interest rather than a plain pot. But I'll have one plain. I'll at least leave one of these as a big plain pot. Probably the big one. It's pretty good, you know, you can see the size of this thing. Absolutely massive. I'm actually pretty happy with how they turned out, considering they just glued together bits of slate from a pool table. I reckon they're pretty cool pots. There you go. One way to make a cheap pot. Less than, well, probably $7 each. Maximum. And there you go, you got a pot. And very little effort, probably half hour, 40 minutes each, and that's it. No worries, cheers. We've still got ourselves a fresh tube of liquid nails. I've got about half a tube on my bloody hand here. So good luck, Sammy, good luck. Cheers. Oh, guys, on the way out, I forgot to tell you this on the way out. No, that's the next video. On the next video, on the way out. Stay tuned on the next video. At the end, when you think it's finished, the next video is going to have a little bit of extra footage of me down the block. Cheers. Good day, guys. Well, as you can see, my hands are still full of crap. I only just finished the potting video, but I've had a couple of things on the go. I don't know if you guys can even see me.